Welcome to Trial by Podcast, a podcast featuring your favourite Facebook admins and the occasional YouTuber. I'm Philip, and I admin Donald Noy, along with one other of our they're not guests, then most of them are co-hosts. So, yeah, introduce yourself, guys.
I am Danzie, and I run the Danzie Reviews YouTube channel, where I make Game of Thrones videos.
I'm Tim, and I run Dolnoy along with Phil, and I make a character analysis and bash the show from time to time.
I'm Bartek, and I am Oris Baratheon on Film McCracken. I am the one who posts all the codes, all the fanarts, and other stuff. And
I'm Malcolm.
Agenda.
I'm Malcolm, the admin of Oberyn Martell, and about 100,000 other pages, such as a Rhaegar
All
Targaryen
3,000.
page.
All 3,000.
All 3,000 pages. I also have a hand in every page on Facebook.
And finally, we come to our actual guest. Introduce yourself, Geno.
It's Geno. My name's Geno McKenna. I help run the A Song of Ice and Fire and Game of Thrones Are My Life page, along with several other admins. According to my Game of Thrones occupation test, I am a prostitute.
See, I was a maester.
I don't know what I was. I haven't done this test.
I was a lord.
Yeah, we haven't done it. Oh, I haven't done it.
I haven't done it.
Right, well,
I
Tim,
like being a whole...
you get a roof under your head, nice beds.
Pick your hours.
Oh. It's a reasonable occupation.
Yeah.
Right, Tim actually knows what we're doing.
I do.
So, yeah, Tim, explain what we're doing.
Well, tonight we are going to be discussing Winds of Winter predictions for half the storyline, the Essos and northern side with the wall, and we're also, along with Essos, we'll be discussing Essosi history. So, shall we begin with predictions for Winds of Winter in Marine? Go.
People are gonna die.
Yeah.
Well, definitely. There's going to be the great battle right at the beginning of the book. From what I've read in an interview with George R. R. Martin, Victarion is gonna kick some ass.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Because a lot of people think Victarion is going to die in the battle, and that's going to...
What was that?
That was my road and some annoying
That
guy on
was
a motorbike going past.
His way to kick your ass. No.
Sailing across the Dothraki Sea.
And just charged for your road.
But yeah, a lot of people think he's going to die. I don't and he'll fail in taking the dragons. I hope he does take one of the dragons because I think it will make the storyline more interesting.
I think you will too, and I don't see him dying right away, anytime soon.
Otherwise, it would be too much like Quentin, I think.
It's too close to the same thing already happening for that to happen again.
Yeah, Victorian is definitely going to be playing a big role, I think, in the coming battle, but we're not going to be seeing his death, at least in Winds of Winter. I think if he does die, it's not going to be till more closer to the end of the story, I think.
Possibly.
I can't wait until he grabs Rhaegal and Viserion by the scruffs of the neck and just runs around using them as flamethrowers. When he does that, he can die. But until then, he's not allowed to be alive.
See, I think with Barristan, I've had this theory because we're about to have a convergence of three point of view characters and other characters as well, Jorah and Dario, etc. And I don't think all of them are going to make it out alive. And I think Barristan's going to be the point of view that dies at Marine.
No! Not Barristan!
I'd like Daenerys to die. Killed by Barristan.
We could only hope.
There's no foreshadowing for it. I mean, at least I don't think there is any. And
The only
no
connection
proof. No proof for that to be, as in, probable. But I think it would be a really cool thing to happen. Even not just Barston killing Danny, just putting Barston in the situation that Jaime used to be in.
Oh yeah, I've heard that theory, and I think I do like that one, but I do actually see Barristan dying in the battle, and like kind of see it happening by Victorian. I don't know how, because Victorian is not as good as Barristan, but I don't know.
I think the only reason they would kill Barristan is because he's sort of like, I, for lack of a better term, a father figure to Danny, a kind of like wise old man figure, and I think his death would kind of be like with the Stark children and the importance of the death of Ned Stark.
I've never looked at it that way, but I do see just the way Martin writes. I can kind of see Barristan dying, though I really hope he doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, that will. Sorry, Phil.
If he does go out, I would like him to go out fighting, but like holding the line or something.
It's true, because we haven't really seen him fight yet. We've only heard about him fighting.
Well, we had him it's his last. Is it his last or is it his
last
it's his
second last
chapter where he goes and captures his star. He like cuts down quite a few of his guards.
That's
and he has
true.
the
Yeah.
one-on-one fight with Kraz.
The pit fighter. But yeah, well, one thing that's obvious in the Battle for Marine is that like the Yunkai aren't going to win. It's like because they're against all of like the characters who actually have personalities. So
And they've been incompetent so far. So it would be really, really counterintuitive for them to start being competent.
well, because that's my biggest criticism of George R. R. Martin is that the Giscari, the people in Slaver's Bay, like from Essos, they're one-dimensional as hell. Like, I don't remember half their names because they're all like X's and Y's and Z's, and you can't really distinguish a lot of them.
What do you think will happen to Tyrion?
Tyrion's coming out of his downward spiral of depression. Like, you can kind of tell that from his Wind of Winter chapter, but he's not going to die in the battle because he's. If you've seen the post that was this week about Martin teasing Winds of Winter, he says like Tyrion and Dany will intersect in the book. So he's gonna, but like they're apart for most of the book, so he'll probably survive, most definitely.
I think Tyrion and Dany meeting will be very interesting because Tyrion doesn't have the same level of restraint and respect that most of the other characters have for Dany. And Tyrion will just
he'll be totally open about what he thinks about her family and all that. So it'll be interesting to see.
Because so far we've only seen Daenerys from her own point of view and Quentin's, and well, you see Barristan's thoughts on her, but so far you kind of got a biased view of Daenerys so far. But from Tyrion it'll be interesting.
Yeah, most definitely. I think Tyrion and Dany meeting, I definitely think there's going to be conflict with the whole how Tyrion's father, what he did to King's Landing, and what Jaime did. That's going to play a huge role when they meet for the first time.
Yeah.
Although Tyrion does want to kill his brother at the moment, so
And
he wants to break him under his sister too.
Towards the end of Dance of Dragons, he actually, I think, if I recall correctly, he leaves Jaime out of his vendetta briefly, or he doesn't think as badly of him as he does Cersei.
No, I don't think in the end, if it came down to it, I don't think he could slash the blade or whatever. But I think he plans to, but I don't think he could actually do it in the end. Who else is in Marine? Is there anyone else?
Dario, everyone's favourite character. And
I think everyone just wants Jorah to come and kill Dario.
I want Victorian to do it. Just like the first thing Victorian does when he walks into Marine, just straight up with an axe in hand and straight into Dario's skull.
I want
Like pulling a Ario Hota on Oakheart.
I want like Victorian, Barristan, and Jorah to be like three are fighting. Dario appears, and all three of them just look at each other, and then all of them just converge on Dario.
No, I did say, and I've said this to Phil, that the character that kills Dario will instantly get my fifth favourite character spot, which is kind of a shame for Wyman Mandalay, but no.
Who's your top 4? To cut in real quick.
This isn't kind of relevant, but yeah. First is Jaime, then it's Theon, then Sandor, then Stannis.
Isn't Sansa in that list?
Sansa's number 6.
Ah, right.
Fair enough.
Yeah, but yeah, like the issue is going to be if Dario kills himself.
Oh god. I don't think he'd ever do that. He's too self-serving to do that.
But then again, I can make the whole Hitler argument that, well, Dario also killed the guy that killed Dario.
Yeah. Yeah. That kind of works.
But Dario killed the guy that killed Dario.
No, we stop.
And
Stop.
so on and so on.
Stop.
But, yeah, if Dario makes it out of Marine, I'm going to hit something. Just hard.
I want Dario to dye his pubes purple.
And on that bombshell, speaking of Sansa, what does everybody think is the controversial scene regarding her and Littlefinger coming up?
Sex. Probably. It's D&D. I would not be surprised if Littlefinger rapes Sansa, but it becomes consensual.
Alex Graves.
See, I think she's gonna kill Robert Arryn.
I definitely have a feeling that's going to happen at some point, that she's going to kill somebody, and if it's anybody, it is Robert Arryn.
Or it's Littlefinger.
I see her killing Peter, definitely.
I like Peter. I don't want him to die.
That's we're straying into the wrong area for our predictions, but
Yeah, we're going to discuss Sansa next week, but you know it doesn't matter. But well, who else is it? Well, the last kind of character to talk about in Marine is Jorah Mormont.
Sure.
let's see. If he dies in the Battle of Marine, I'm not going to be happy.
I think he will.
I don't see him dying either.
I see him surviving the battle, then going straight to Dany, and Dany doing something bad to him because he came back.
I don't think she'll do something bad when he comes back. I think.
I honestly would see Barristan dying before I do Jorah.
I think either Jorah or Barristan is going to die in the battle, just because there has to be some casualty on the proverbial good guys.
Mm.
What about Grey Worm?
No one cares.
He doesn't. He doesn't really have a character, so it's okay.
But Sandy will be.
No.
Hey, butterfly!
Don't go there.
Either way, if Jorah lives or Jorah dies, that's still kind of fulfilling a cliche each way, depending upon how Dany reacts to it. Because if he lives and Dany forgives him, that's quite cliche, isn't it? That's a fairly cliche redemption arc.
Yeah.
It might be a trope instead. I don't know. Like it's impossible to avoid every cliche when writing.
Yeah. Unless Dany just doesn't accept his apology ever.
And then she deserves to die.
I've been saying this for a while, but yes. Should we move on to Daenerys?
Do we actually see Daenerys getting to the Iron Throne?
You know, I've thought about that for a long time, and I think like what would be the most satisfying ending in her story arc for me would be. I mean, there's a scene where she always talks about the house with the red door that she lived in
Bravos.
In Bravos, like I think it would almost be, I don't know. I think it would be kind of, it might be unfulfilling for some people, but if she was just to sort of settle down and go, you know, I can have a really happy life here. I don't need to conquer 7 kingdoms. I don't know that place.
See,
you know.
the thing is about that theory, because like I'm going off on a bit of an irrelevant point, but I'll be quick about it. She says about the house being in Bravos with the red door, and she mentions like lemon trees or something. And I think it's made a point of in like Aria chapters or like other chapters that there aren't any lemon trees in Bravos, so she's like she's misremembering it, something.
Oh,
But,
interesting.
Rose tinted glasses. Yeah.
I never caught that, so.
Get
Yeah,
your facts straight, Danny. God damn.
You can't roll. You can't. What can she do? Like beyond
Die.
say.
She can die.
I
she
think
has good intentions.
but that's about
like-
it.
Like,
I don't think she has good intentions, to be honest. Because if you think about it,
She started with them.
Westeros is in a feudal system, which is slavery pretty much. A feudal system is pretty much almost like slavery. I think she's just a little cuckoo for coconuts.
I like comparing her to communism.
What?
See, I always sort of wondered, why does she care so much about conquering the Westeros? Because, I mean, she doesn't really have any attachments there.
Because Viserys instilled it enough for her entire
Wow.
life. Viserys was just
Well, and
like,
I get why
home.
Viserys wanted to go back, because he lived there as a kid, but...
because I think Daenerys has a sense of like, well, she has a sense of entitlement, despite what Emilia Clarke says. Yeah, she has a sense of entitlement and kind of Targaryen pride that like it was wrongfully taken from her family and that so it belongs to her. But yeah, like talking about Dany's immediate future, what do you think will happen with the Dothraki Khalasar?
She will either recruit them or kill them.
I
And I'm not
see
sure which one.
Drogon pretty much defending her and killing most of them, and
Yeah. Drogon could kill them all, but
Martin said in an interview that.
well, he did say that they would have a big part.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Mago, because he mentioned that they killed off Mago in season 1, and like he's playing a part in Winds of Winter.
yeah.
But yeah, like Phil, you remember the North Remembers fan fiction and how she goes to Asshai. I think that will happen. That she will go to Asshai because
Yeah.
if her and Tyrion are apart for most of the book, and I don't think she will go straight back to Marine.
No.
Like because of Quaith's prophecy saying that like to go west she must go east and to touch the light she must touch the shadow, something like that.
Yeah.
Asshai is the Shadowlands, and I think Asshai is very important because of the whole Red Priests, and that's where the Red Priests come from.
Yeah.
So I think that there's something there for Daenerys, some plot device. I don't know.
I think most satisfying final end for Daenerys is she just sits down on the throne and then Stannis just walks in and just cuts off her head as soon as she sits down. That's the most satisfying ending.
On a fan service point of view, yeah, like narratively, no.
No, but
I think on a fan's point of view, what I would like to see is Dany sits on the throne, Victorian walks in and says, "It's mine, bitch," and kind of kicks her out.
yeah. Any of the really metal characters just coming in and killing them, basically.
But yeah, like the end, like despite what many of the show watchers and well, I don't think any book fan kind of thinks that anymore, but like a lot of the show watchers think that the series is going to end with, Jon Snow marries Daenerys and they save the world and they rule together. No, that's not going to happen. Daenerys is not going to sit on the throne at the end, because like Martin said that like the character who sits on the throne at the end will be someone unexpected, and Daenerys has been well. We'll get to that in next week, but yeah.
Yeah, they say it's a bittersweet ending, and anything with Dany sitting on the throne is not bittersweet.
Unless
At
she's
least-
gone full Targ crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't see it because like she's been built up like over the course of the books to be the kind of like person who like you would expect to be on the throne. So I don't see it.
So she will not be on the throne.
No.
She might sit the throne briefly, but she won't be sitting on it at the end.
Shall we move on from Mirren?
Yeah.
From
Um,
Marine and Danny. So,
Yeah.
Well,
on to
before we
this.
move on, what do we see happening with like the Sons of the Harpy and
Oh yeah, who is the Harpy?
Belwas?
Who is the Harpy, do you think?
Me,
His star.
Maybe it's Dario.
or is
Him the whole time.
A lot of people, well, I've seen a lot of people think it's the Green Grace.
I've heard that theory also.
His star?
His, like, I can't remember half the Marine's characters, but like there's also
Scaz.
the Shave Pate,
Yeah. I don't remember very many of them, I'll give it that.
Red Storm, Bird something or other. It's too many.
He's kind of with on Barrison's side, isn't he? I don't really remember.
I can't remember. It's one of the X's and Y's characters.
Yeah.
But
We know they have Hisdar captured. Do we see him actually being proven guilty and dying?
I don't think Hisdar's got much of a role to play in the future.
Yeah.
To be honest, if I would be really happy if all of all of Slaver's Bay just got nuked and all the one-dimensional characters just died.
Just a slight genocide of everyone from Slaver's Bay.
Yeah,
Okay.
then I don't think anyone would mourn.
No. Probably
I
not.
think that's what Danny should have done in the first place. Is just leave Slaver's Bay and be like later.
So,
But,
like,
Just repeating the mistakes of her ancestors, then, kind of.
yeah, just saying, Drogon, Dracarys everything.
So, yeah, I'm tying that into their Essosi history thing with the Valerians, like burning all the fertile land in Slaver's Bay. So the Giscari had to rely on slavery as a form of economy.
Yeah. Gis got completely destroyed by Valerians, right?
Yeah.
Oh, again, one more comparison. The Giscari were the Egyptians.
I see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I do see that.
And the Valerians are who?
They were older than the Valerians, just like the Egyptians. They were conquered by the Valerians, just like Romans conquered the Egyptians. They built pyramids. They relied on slavery. They lived in deserts.
Yeah, Valyria is very much a parallel for the rise and fall of Rome, I
Oh
think.
yeah,
Yeah,
I have
just
never
realised
seen that. But yeah, that's definitely a thing.
Oh yeah, I definitely see Valyria more because with the doom of Valyria and the fall of the Roman Empire.
Yeah.
hmm
What do you reckon caused the Doom of Valeria?
It was the volcano. It was a parallel on Mount Vesuvius.
But Vesuvius.
Not that wiped out the Roman Empire, but
Pompeii.
Yeah, that's good.
But
Was there something like with the gods or something that caused the doom of Valeria? Was there something magic involved?
Who knows?
because the kingdom lasted 5,000 years, so I mean, I'm fairly certain that volcanoes, even an active volcano, does not have a 5,000-year cycle.
Well, then
they?
again, seasons don't last for years, so it might be an artistic
True.
life in some parts of Martin.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
well, I mean, just the way that they describe it in the books with everything burning, I think that's sort of, if it was a natural disaster, then that's what I would kind of say it was.
I would say it's probably a combination of earthquakes and volcanic eruptions, because I don't think a volcanic eruption can literally sink an entire kind of country. Because the Smoking Sea was most of Valeria just going underground, basically. The Smoking Sea is an actual sea, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like in between Valeria and Mantaris, is it?
Yes, I think.
I was reading about it earlier. I can't find where I had it pulled up at though.
I think what caused the volcanic eruption was Frodo was visiting.
Yeah.
Which is a very logical
Oh
explanation.
my God. Yes.
It's
Middle
very
Earth
off-
is
It's the
Essosi.
only explanation. It's got it.
It's canon. It's canon.
Yeti is actually Rivendell.
Oh, we got you, George.
Perfect.
Has anyone seen a map of Valeria? There?
I'm looking at one right now.
Like it looks quite scary, creepy.
Yeah, everything's just really black.
There's mountains on the border. Definitely, this is Mordor, guys.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Bartek. We're not going off topic because it's part of the discussion that we're discussing Essosi history.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. To try and vaguely link Essosi history into current events, Battle of Cahors versus Battle of Marine.
Oh yeah, well,
Are the Unsullied going to do what they did at Cahors to
what
Yunkai?
to the Dothraki Khalasar?
Well, no, I was thinking to Yunkai.
Well, it could be the Dothraki Khalasar because because I was rereading that chapter like a couple of days ago with Daenerys. Like it's in Storm of Swords where they said like the Yunkai are going. They're going to get like the help of like the Khalasar to help them like take back, like to fight against Marine. So that could be why like the Khalasar is out there in numbers because they're actually heading towards Marine.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, I suppose so.
That makes sense.
So we could get a repetition like of history, like with the Battle of Cahors.
Or maybe Yunkai win the Battle of Marine. Most of the main characters plus the Unsullied escape. And then...
But Barristan's not planning on fleeing, though, is he?
Probably not. This is a very ham-fisted theory, to be honest. But
It could be Dany sweeps in with the Dothraki at the end. If she gets control of the Dothraki, she kind of sweeps in at the end or during the battle and kind of just pushes.
just goes full on Gandalf charge.
Yes.
This kind of just
On the
looks
light
like
of the
the
third
Battle
day.
of the Blackwater again.
Yeah.
What? So George resolves every single battle with an external force just coming in and just smashing the invasion.
Basically.
We got George again.
We've noticed a pattern. So what's happened? So yes, of course, and during the Battle of Winterfell, obviously, Stannis' force is going to be wiped out by Jon. Of course.
I have an interesting
You mean the map?
theory, actually, revolving the Battle of Winterfell. When we
When we
to the
get to that.
Get
yeah.
onto it. We got the question segment before that, but with SOC history, have we got anything else important?
There isn't much.
There's not much. I mean,
there's the history of the Rhoynar, which was a lot of light was shed on with the release of the excerpt from Worlds of Ice and Fire, and how the Rhoynar battled the Valyrians for quite a long time, and were actually doing quite well because they had water magic, which they used to combat the dragons with by having their armies fight in low tide. So when the dragons came, if you got fire, you would just like lay down real quick, and then you were back up, ready to go.
Yeah. Sorry, there's water magic in the Song of Ice and Fire?
I didn't know that. That's new.
Yeah.
well, the
It
children.
was released not too long ago. I could see if I could find it.
The Rhoynar were people that lived along the river, and a lot of them actually ended up migrating to Dorne with Queen Nymeria,
Yes.
and then she married into the Martells.
Yeah.
Nymeria there was another leader who united the Rhoynar and actually made the largest army ever in Essos for, I think, still to this day, in the history. It made the largest army ever to attack Valyria, and they started to get successful, but then the Valyrians unleashed the full might of their dragons, and Nymeria was elected from the surviving Rhoynar to lead them, and then she left that area, which is anything north of the river north of Volantis, and Volantis, I believe, played a very interesting role in the battle. It's in the war with the Rhoynar between the Valyrians.
Right.
Well, it's kind of ironic considering when the Valyrians came again into Westeros with Aegon's conquest, where they failed to conquer Dorne initially.
Yeah, because it was just the great big desert, and Dawn just like...
Oh, yeah.
I think they did eventually take it, wasn't it? Was it King
Darion?
Darion or Daemon?
Yeah, they were young.
I can't remember which one it was.
The one
I know.
Storm was learning
Didn't
about.
he? One of his. I know it was conquered, I think, and then somebody married in it. Because the first
That's
time
how King Darren
Okay.
Darren the First.
Yeah, the first time they took it, it didn't last very long because there was an uprising. But the second time they took it, it was like full. They held it.
Yeah, Darren took it, and then they rebelled and were free again, and then
Yeah.
there's one of the
Yeah, there's a long history between the Targaryens and the Martells, but eventually they kind of settled it, and they married in a couple times, I think.
Mm.
And then the most recent was Elia and Rhaegar.
And that ended so well.
I think
Yeah.
the next one I think will probably be
Fuck the mountain.
Arianne and Aegon.
Yeah. They'll probably get together.
But well, yeah, like
Because she was supposed to marry Viserys, but he was a
yeah.
complete douche nozzle and got himself killed.
Yeah.
well, I'm not sure if it will happen in Winds of Winter, or it will happen during the spring maybe, but because it's like with Daenerys and because of the whole situation with Quentyn, Dawn is not going to back Daenerys now because of the Quentyn situation.
Yeah, it's true.
And like I think that was because Danzie, you've always kind of like questions on your videos. What was the point in Quentyn? And it was kind of twofold: one, to release the dragons, and two, to kind of put a wedge between Daenerys and Dawn.
Yeah, no, I mean, my question was why we had to follow his point of view more so rather than, yeah.
We didn't need 4 chapters of him.
Yeah, we certainly did not, for sure.
I think Martin was trying to give a scale of the army attacking Meereen, and the best way to do that would be from a double agent kind of point of view.
I suppose.
But yeah, it wasn't the best writing.
We didn't need 4 chapters of it though.
No.
But yeah, like and Dawn will back Aegon, and I think this will be setting up because with the title, A Dance with Dragons, I assume you all know what the Dance with Dragons, the Dance with Dragons was in the Targaryen history.
It was
Yeah,
Targaryen princesses, wasn't it? The two princesses.
I think it's going to be setting up like a second Dance with Dragons between Daenerys and Aegon.
He mentioned that was going to happen.
Did he?
Yeah, it was some interview. I was reading it earlier. It was something fairly recent. He was saying that he didn't mention names, but he said there was going to be it's something similar to the repeat with their history with the Dance of Dragons. So I'm taking that the dragons are going to separate somehow. Anyways, we already see that happening.
Maybe the Battle of Meereen will scare one or two of them, both of them off. And
Victarion's going to take one.
I think Victarion's going to take one.
He has to.
And then one will go to Jon, and Jon will start riding a dragon, and Tyrion will take the one from Victarion, and Dany will be on Drogon, and they'll ride the 3 dragons.
Stop.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, well, I'll talk more about like Aegon's immediate role on next week's, but I'll be done with like
I think
Daenerys and Essos now.
I think we're done with Essos. I mean, it's not the most interesting of places, in all honesty.
Should we get on to a few questions from fans then? Like,
yeah, I need to actually find them.
Totally.
Like, I'll read out the first one that I've got here from, like, the only one that we got on our page, actually. Okay, out of all the physical injuries characters have sustained, which one do you think affected the character that was maimed the most?
Ned Stark losing his head.
Well, I think it's a tie between Jaime's hand and Bran losing his legs.
Yeah.
Really? No one's gonna go for Theon, just me?
No one likes
Well,
Just
no, I like Theon. I just think that in
No, you don't.
what
You really
what
don't.
transforms the character for moving the plot forward, I think that I don't know. I probably want to go with Bran and him being paralyzed.
Yeah, I go
I
Jaime.
think
I see
Jaime.
that. I do see that one.
What about, I mean, I know it didn't happen during the actual books, but what about Sandor and Gregor burning his face?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
that definitely affected Sandor.
but I think Greg, even if he hadn't burnt his face, Gregor would still have established himself as being an evil twat throughout
Well, yeah,
most
like,
of his childhood.
I'm not sure Sandor would have that same kind of cynicism and the same. Well, he wouldn't have the fear of fire.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't hate Gregor as much as he does.
Hmm.
Well, it's hard to tell because we didn't really know what Sandor was like before his accident. So
Well, he was
He was a
still
little kid.
little though, so
Yeah.
he really wouldn't have been anything different. It's kind of how he grew up, and then seeing, almost how he was raised. Just in that presence of violence,
Hmm.
and Gregor just being as wild as he was without any kind of reprimand. And then Rhaegar pretty much having to knight Gregor too.
Hmm.
Also influenced Sandor's view on a lot of things. That's when he really started hating knights in general,
Yeah.
because of the fact that someone that bad not only lacked any kind of punishment for it, they were pretty much given rewards and titles and honors
Yeah.
for raping and pillaging and just killing innocent people.
We are going a bit off on tangent here. Like, I do have a theory about like Sandor's character, which I think I've discussed with you, Philip, and it involves his sister and Sandor. But yeah, I'll get to that on another point.
Coming next week.
Yeah, or future video.
Yeah.
Okay. Does anyone else have a question from one of their pages?
And by the way, we haven't actually decided which injury was the most affecting.
Well, I'm personally going for Theon. We don't all have to come to a consensus.
I go Jaime.
I would go Theon as well.
I'd go Bran.
I agree with Bran, but I'm honestly leaning with Theon after y'all's discussion.
The only thing I'd say about Theon was maybe it was more the emotional mistreatment. I mean, the physical was a part of it, but it wasn't solely the physical damage that was doing it. It was mostly the mental torture that Ramsay was inflicting on him, which changed his character, not necessarily the actual physical torture itself. If that makes sense. Whereas with
Yeah.
Jaime, it was actually losing the body part that was the most afflicting.
Okay.
It kind of helped shape Jaime, though, in a positive way.
And considering Philip's point, I'd side with Bran.
All right. So next question. Anyone?
I have,
Never mind. Go ahead.
Alright. Who do you feel will be the Faith's champion?
Either Lancel or get ready for it. Drum roll. So insert one in, like right.
Okay. I will try and find a drum roll on the internet. and
No,
I'll put it
don't
in
find
this.
one. now,
What?
like,
No. I'll edit
What's
a
the
drum
question?
roll then.
What's the question?
Drum roll cue.
Who is going to be the Faith's champion against Sir Robert Strong?
Oh.
Game Bowl, get hype.
Sandor.
I think everyone that's read the books and believes the Gravedigger theory all agree that it should be, or is leaning towards, Sandor.
Yeah.
Is it-
Like,
Yeah.
It's leaning toward, but like I think.
I'm
think it would be a bit-
starting to really doubt seeing that, though.
Yeah,
I think we wanted to happen, but it's not.
I think it'd
It
be
wouldn't
too
make a lot of
contrived.
sense.
I think it would be too contrived in a way. Because Sandor, if Sandor is the Gravedigger, he's still got the limp, so he wouldn't be.
He wouldn't be nearly the fighter that he should be.
So I saw the theory that it would be Lancel, actually.
But can Lancel fight?
He has fought.
Now he became this warrior of the Seven, so...
Yeah, he's become a warrior of the Seven,
Yeah.
so it does seem like it's setting it up for it. And it would kind of make thematic sense, because he was one of the people who slept with Cersei.
And another comparison, the warriors of the Seven are crusaders.
Yes, they are.
What do we see? A question from myself.
Alright.
Who do you see winning that fight?
Between
Sir
them.
Robert Strong versus Lancel, the Crusader.
Do you really have the question there?
I
No.
think what's going to happen is Sandor is alive. He comes back, and we have a kind of Rocky Balboa moment with Lancel, and he becomes a master fighter.
That was Volt!
What? You just have a. I think what Sandor just cut. We had like this training montage between Sandor and Lancel, where Sandor's just teaching him how to fight. And just the Rocky just starts playing over.
I think Lancel will kind of be the red herring, but I think in the end, I think it'll probably end up being Sandor.
I want Sandor to become like Westeros's Batman right now, because he's like taken to the faith and like just walks around with like a quarterstaff and just doesn't kill.
Isn't
just
Stannis Westeros' Batman?
but Stannis kills people.
What about
Guys, we're sort
Darkstar?
of running out of time, and we just did Mirin so far, considering the predictions for Winds of Winter, and I got the list in front of me right now.
Well, we'll be fine.
It
We
doesn't
can
matter how
we can
much-
overrun a bit if we need to, and by a bit I mean
Yeah.
we can overrun by like an hour if we need to.
Right, do we,
Are there any other?
another question?
Any really stupid ones?
My girlfriend asked a rather. I'm
Where's
not going
the
to say
chicken?
it.
Go on, say it.
Sorry. Okay, we'll start with where is the chicken. Sandor's belly probably is the.
My fridge.
The chickens are the Faith's champion.
They're on Harris Swift's
Just-
jumper thing. Not jumper. His
Shield.
doublet.
Oh no! We have like a Transformers moment with like is it Destructor, like the one that is made up of like 5 Transformers, and just chickens just form this giant kind of chicken soldier, and just fight
That's
like that.
perfect.
Perfect sense.
Anyway, another question?
Malcolm, what
My
was your
girlfriend
question?
wanted me to. My girlfriend wanted me to ask. I already have the answer, but I'm gonna ask it anyways. She wants to know when Danny is going to win.
When the sun
I know.
rises in the west and sets in the east, and the seas dry up and the mountains blow in the
So, has your girlfriend read the books, or she only watched the show?
She's read the first 2 and like the first half of A Storm of Swords, and she's pretty much only watched the show.
Okay.
when it
Yeah,
snows
she's one
in
of those. She's one of those people.
When it snows
God
in
forbid she
Ashai.
ever watches this or listens to this, because I will die afterwards. This will be the only episode I am on.
When it snows in Ashai.
Yeah.
I do have a serious question from the Arya Stark page that I help admin on,
Alright.
which they wanted to ask and have clarification on what exactly is the Iron Bank of Bravos.
It's a bank in Bravos.
A bank with a hell of a lot of money.
I think
Mostly where they get their power and strength, and
it was originally an iron, like what's the word?
Should
Mine?
I do the explanation that I did before?
Pardon?
Should I do the explanation that I did before?
Yeah.
Well, so the Iron Bank of Bravos is in Bravos, and Bravos is is basically Republic of Venice in the Song of Ice and Fire, and the Republic of Venice used to control all the trade in the Mediterranean, which made it extremely rich. And because Bravos is like the Song of Ice and Fire version of it, it's also extremely rich. It has a complex banking system, and because the Ion Bank of Bravos is the central bank of it and the most powerful bank in it, it gets a share in all the trade that takes part there, and that's basically.
So
Yeah, if you've ever played Civ
Civ,
5, Venice is kind of the trade city, in a way.
so
Not that that has anything to do with anything, but I
Bravos
I thought
equals
if
Venice.
somebody out there had played Civ 5, then I wouldn't feel so alone. But
People play Civ 5.
yeah, no, I agree with Bartek though, for sure. I think it's a parallel of Venice.
Okay, should we have one more question?
Do we have any dumb ones, like even funnier ones?
Okay, we'll do one more dumb one and one more serious one.
Okay, fine.
If you can find a dumb one.
Oh god, I gotta find one.
Where is Silvio Farrell?
Silvio. Is he
Silvio.
Silvio Farrell.
Is he Siria's brother?
Yes.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is Serio's brother, and right now he is writing plays in.
He wrote Aria's play. He wrote Aria's
Beyond
Mercy
the
play.
Wall together with Oris Baratheon, who came back from life, and they are plotting how to overthrow the Iron Jaime Barristan, who is in Cohoris and is from Cohoris. He's ruling the
This is the most
Dorne
theory
Island.
I've heard.
The Dorne Islands. Yes. And they're trying to make krakens, and those krakens are going to conquer all of Westerlands. Yes.
Is Silvio Farrell Azor Ahai? I
Yes.
think he is.
Yes, he is. He was born amid salt. He was born amid gammon steaks and the cooking plate. So salt and smoke.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
One more serious one then. Or one more serious one.
Ha.
Ho
Bad joke of the...
Ha. Ha.
Does anyone have any more questions?
Hang on.
Someone did post on one of mine. They were asking who we predict actually will be Azor Ahai.
Davos.
It's looking like Jon Snow at the moment, but there is that Norse mythology theory about Jaime. I think who's Azor Ahai is probably like something that deserves its own whole theme.
Yeah.
It's kind of a big topic of discussion, so we'll probably do that in a later video.
Yeah, I think it's Davos just because I believe he died at the Blackwater
Hmm.
Does anyone
and was
think?
reborn.
Does anyone think it's actually Stannis?
What, the biggest red herring ever? Like, it's like everyone thinks it's not Stannis because he's the red herring, but it actually is Stannis.
Yes.
Oh my god.
I hope it is. I hope it is Stannis.
Plot twist.
We got you, George.
Is that Geno's catchphrase?
Yeah, we got you, George. Yes. Okay. So that's all our serious questions. And
On the bombshell, we move on.
Alright, so...
Hopefully next episode the fans will give us more questions to ask.
yeah, we need more questions. You guys are slacking, fans.
So, on to the...
How many do we have? How many
Like-
fans do we have?
12, according to audience retention.
12
Yeah.
watch that.
We have literally dozens of fans.
We have
Okay.
literally a dozen fans.
A dozen. You 12 people dropped the ball.
We don't even have a baker's dozen.
No, I don't know. I can check the stats, but
That's the
probably not.
dozen.
Technically, there's the five.
Doesn't consist of us.
There's all of us as well. I didn't watch all of the video.
I'm-
I'm a
I
fan
did.
of myself.
I didn't actually watch all of it either.
I watched 10 minutes of it and I got bored.
I can't listen to that voice.
Really?
Really, Bartek?
It might be because Bartek wasn't actually speaking a lot, so he got bored. He likes the sound of his own voice.
Bartek, how many times
Actually-
have I told you? This is the reason I don't like you. Besides the fact that you're whatever you are.
Oh.
Ooh, love that. Love the casual races of that.
Moving on.
Predictions about Skagos. Go.
Skagos and Davos.
Dead unicorn.
Unicorns!
Dead
Rick-
fucking
All we care
unicorn.
about is unicorns.
Shaggy Dog.
Rickon dies.
Rickon rides a unicorn to not a unicorn. Unicorn to victory.
Shaggy.
He rides a unicorn to his death.
We're gonna die.
Shaggy Dog
I-
starts raping
if
a
Rickon
unicorn,
doesn't-
but it becomes consensual, and then their offspring is the direwolf unicorn hybrid, which Rickon rides into battle on.
Direcorn.
Phil, could you write that down?
Direcorn?
On Alex Graves.
Yes, I will post it on Alex Graves when we're done here.
What are we
Yeah.
posting on Alex Graves?
No, you're not.
Direcorn.
You're not. You're not.
Guys, I'm currently making a Silvio Farrell page.
Hey, can I be an admin on it?
Oh god.
We'll see.
What do you mean we'll see?
I have a list. I have a waiting list that I have to go through.
What was I gonna say?
Well, add me at the top of the list. I'll pay you.
It's a no, Malcolm. It's a no.
Oh.
You're not at the top, but you're not at the bottom.
Thank you. I can live with that.
He's not on the list altogether.
You might even say that he's Malcolm in the middle.
Ah.
Brian Cranston before he was cool.
That might be the bad joke of the week.
Yeah.
You don't. You're not allowed to start trying to outdo each other, okay? We're not having that. It's just war of
Why
bad
not?
jokes. Because bad jokes are bad. It's kind of in their name.
Yeah, but they can be so bad it's good. Anyway, back on topic. Davos is gonna find. I think because
Davos is gonna find Rickon.
Davos is down. He's gonna find Rick, and I think because in A Dance of Dragons, the Davos chapters, because in UK publications we have Dance of Dragons and Storm of Swords in 2 parts in paperback, and all the Davos chapters are in the first part. So the first half of the Dance of Dragons, you don't hear from Davos after that. And I think when we see him in Winds of Winter, because we haven't seen him for a long time, I think he'll already be in Skagos or just arriving in Skagos. So hopefully we won't have any travelogue there. I think Osher will die.
Bruce Bolton is going to get killed by a unicorn.
Don't say that. I like Bruce Bolton. Despite what he did.
On Skagos though, what does everyone think the reason for Osher choosing Skagos was?
Unicorns!
I think it's very secluded because we don't. Even when Rob calls the banners, we don't even see anybody from Skagos or hear from them.
Because Skagos is wildlings, isn't it?
No, Skagos is northern, because they have
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're very wilding-ish.
Well, there are some some of the population of Skagos is wildling immigrants, but yeah. Does anyone think that they are actually cannibals, or they're not? They're actually not cannibals, rather.
I say I'm being cannibal.
They're probably cannibals, yeah.
Or that it's kind of a misleading thing.
Mm,
Because there are several myths about the wildlings, eating flesh and drinking blood from skulls and stuff like that, and they're
No,
not.
that was Carl Tanner.
yeah.
It was wine actually, but
Oh, sorry.
Fucking skulls.
It might be, yeah. I don't know.
So, we all see Osha dying.
yeah, I see Osher dying.
I don't want
Ow.
her to, but
Well, actually, no. George R. R. Martin said, because of Natalia Tenner's acting, that he was going to up her role in Winds of Winter. But I don't know. It kind of feels like she
Maybe-
doesn't need to be there because, then Davos, Rickon has 2 protectors, which
maybe there'll be a confrontation a la shows Brienne
Oh yeah.
Hound confrontation about protecting Rickon. Although they'll probably have to come to some kind of peaceful resolution.
Because I wonder what the I wonder if the Skagosi will have much of a role in the kind of with whether they'll come across with Rickon, as well. Like if they'll help.
Why would they do that?
I don't know.
Do we see Shaggy Dog actually surviving? Because in the excerpt that we had, he was injured.
What excerpt?
His side.
There's no excerpt, is there?
Yeah, there's
no Davos chapter excerpt.
No, it's not Davos. I don't remember where it was from,
It's,
but it said
one
Shaggy
of
Dog
Arya's
was.
Wolf Dreams, isn't it?
No, in John's. John's
It was
Wolf-
something happened, and anyways, I remember reading it. It's from one of the excerpts from Winds of Winter. I don't know whose part it was, but Shaggy Dog is actually injured. His side is torn open.
I'm looking that up because I don't remember that. But
If they kill any more direwolves, I'm not going to be happy.
Only 2, and one's missing.
well, wait, no, we got
Who's
Ghost,
dead? And one's missing.
Ghost Brown, no, Ghost Summer and Second alive, and well, yeah, I think Davos is going to succeed in bringing him back. Like whether he'll bring him back in time for like to kind of. Well, Rickon's obviously got to play a role. Like whether like I'm not sure whether it'll be during the aftermath of the Battle of Ice or. It's kind of it's a difficult one to place, that one.
Yeah.
Because you don't hear from Davos for like the rest of the book. It's kind of like you don't know how far he's got.
No. Well, there is
Okay, it wasn't. It's actually not. Maybe it wasn't an excerpt after all. Maybe it was in A Dance with Dragons. It was in a vision of ghosts.
Yeah.
So I guess it was in John's chapter. It was shown. It was seen that Shaggy Dog was fighting a goat with one long horn, a unicorn, pretty much, and it pretty much mentions that his side was torn open.
It could be a rhino.
In an island formed of unicorns, but it's a fucking rhino.
Rickon arrives back in the north. Rhino.
Tell me that would not be
dire-
like the best. Like that's better than the direwolf. Like as a mount, a rhino is a pretty good choice. Like high strength, high constitution, like high strength. So it's a solid mount. Like good beginners choice.
They got a horn.
Yeah.
Right. Do we have anything else to talk about with Skagos?
Not really. No. Eked out
Battle
quite a
of
lot.
Ice. Because I have a very interesting theory regarding the Battle of Winterfell that we're going to have, and that is that one, Stannis is going to win,
Yeah.
definitely, but when Roose Bolton is going to survive, or Ramsay Bolton is going to survive,
Yeah.
What are the others going to get away, and one will die?
yeah.
I
and
really
what's-
hope Roose gets away and Ramsay dies.
Yeah.
What's going to happen is Roose would have taken a lot of casualties because by that point Manderley would have jumped ship. He will probably head to the Dreadfort, but when he gets there, we will meet our old friend Robert Glover has taken the Dreadfort because he's not at Winterfell, so I think that he has taken some men loaned to him from Manderley and has actually snuck up to the Dreadfort to attack it using some deceptive maneuvers, and what that will do would, if Bolton heads to the Dreadfort, he will probably get stuck somewhere south of the Long Lake and get stuck between the Robert Glover and Stannis and try and weasel his way out of it.
Yeah. With the upcoming Battle of Ice, I mean, like everyone kind of wants Stannis.
His force though is marching for Winterfell.
Yeah, like the upcoming battle is going to take place tonight in like where Stannis is because he's holding the ground there. Like, and like the theory is because like people have analysed this in Theon's Winds of Winter chapter. It's because Stannis is kind of situated on a big frozen lake.
Yeah.
And because his men are drilling holes in like the lake to fish, but it's also suggested, like, because he says to Theon, we hold the ground here, and I mean to use that to our advantage. And Theon says, like, you have less men than him, and you have no natural defenses. And Stannis replies, not yet. And I think this implies that when the phrase, because it's the phrase that Roose has sent out, when the phrase come across, like on the lake, like they're gonna collapse the lake and they'll drown in the lake.
Right to certain.
Yeah, I definitely see that, but yeah, that actually makes a lot of sense because Stannis is a brilliant tactician. At least I definitely think so because.
Oh, I think so.
Yeah, he is probably right now. I think he is one of the best leaders we have out there.
I would go as far to say he is the best in the series.
Yeah, we have
serious. That's currently alive.
Yeah, and he also is a really good, well-rounded commander. It's because he has done naval, he's done sieges, he's done attacks, naval warfare also. Naval landings, I'm sorry. So he definitely, I think, will come up with something very, very smart that will trick Roose Bolton, who I think is kind of losing his head a bit, or grasp on everything, because I think Roose is definitely worried.
I can't see Stannis surviving the series, but I will be really pissed off if he dies in a battle in the ice. I think the kind of death I want for him is to die fighting the others or something like that.
Yeah, like he goes off and buys time for whoever.
Yeah, I think that's if Stannis goes anyway, it has to be knocked down. I'm taking half of these mofos with me before I go, and you all get to live another day.
Or
I'm protecting the realm.
Or Stannis becomes the 1000th Lord Commander of the Night's Watch, because Jon was the 998th, and I think the 999th will probably be Bowen Marsh or something like that. Someone who's not very good at it, and I think probably Stannis. I think a good ending would be Stannis becoming 1000th, giving up his right to the throne completely in order to do his duty to the realm just completely.
Yeah, I agree with that, actually. I think he'll end up being the Lord Commander.
That would work. I think that would work.
I think it fits his personality really well as well. So.
If he doesn't become Lord Commander and he does die before that, I think and he goes out protecting the realm, I think the whole idea that when it comes to history on how Stannis will be remembered, that I think whoever comes out on top is gonna be like Stannis was the right. He'll make sure the history books say that Stannis was the rightful king.
I don't think they will. I think there'll be some kind of tragedy in that. No one will remember Stannis as a hero, but we as the reader will know it. But the characters themselves, apart from the characters close to him, will know that. But because history is written by the victor, the realm won't know that Stannis saved everyone's lives. But
somewhere thoroughly.
Well, it was sort of like Tyrion with his chain. He was the one that really cemented the victory of the Blackwater, but of course it was Tywin that, because he came in at the last minute, he was sort of awarded with saving the city.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah.
Well, we can get onto our point of views within the Stannis camp. We have Theon and Asher.
Theon's got to kill Ramsay at some point.
I hope Theon does kill Ramsay, and that's kind of one of my biggest wishes. Just Theon to kill Ramsay. I don't know. From a physical point of view, it doesn't really make much sense, but I think thematically it might make sense, but it also might be a bit too cliche.
It could be like that final fight in the raid with Asher and Theon versus Ramsay.
Maybe
that would be awesome.
I don't.
A lot of people are saying that
phase of the show
that Theon is going to get killed by Stannis, but what I think is in the Asher chapter where Stannis attacks Deepwood Mont, she's talking about this one sort of historical figure who was the son of the king of the Iron Islands, he wasn't invited.
Was it Toreg or Toreg the latecomer?
Yeah, something like that. He wasn't invited to the moat or moot, and he went in and he killed them all the guy who won, and then everyone who didn't invite him, and he claimed the king, and I think he was like the first Greyjoy that like was the setup that there was no more moat or moot.
Yeah, Theon's like, because I've seen theories that because Theon is set up to be killed at the Heart Tree by Stannis, and that like his blood sacrifice at the tree is what's going to revive Jon Snow. I would be, if Martin goes that route, I would be kind of annoyed, because just to get rid of one of the most complex characters in the series, to bring back kind of like, this kind of sounds derogatory, but
he's less complex.
The cliche protagonist somewhat, but
Yeah.
I would be kind of annoyed, and like Theon seems like he has a lot more of a role to play. Asher, like once again, Asher's a character I can see dying.
I don't want him to die, but yeah.
In the battle, on the ice.
Yeah.
Sorry, don't we mean Yara?
What is she going to do?
If you say Yara, I will slap you.
See, I don't know. I think that Asha is actually Asha with an A. Will
Asha?
end up being Asha. Yeah. I think that she'll end up being in control of the Iron Islands.
I can see that.
But
Yeah. Yeah.
Do we actually see Victarion surviving? And
No.
In the long run, no.
Not the entire series, no.
no.
He's gonna
Same
go
with
down. He's gonna go down to the Battle Marine using 2 dragons as flamethrowers.
Yes, that
Yeah,
has to happen.
He's going to take like half of the Yunkai forces with him, and then Barristan will come and clean up for him.
I was gonna say, but well, considering what that's like, who do you think wrote the pink letter to Jon? Because a lot of people think it wasn't Ramsay, and like there's theories that it was Stannis and that it was Mance. I disagree with the theory that the idea that it's Stannis is that because Theon says there's a few clues in the Theon chapter, because Theon says some of the things to him that are in the letter, and that Stannis sends it to him in order to get him to come south because he needs a Stark in Winterfell kind of thing.
Yeah,
but I
don't see it.
It can't be him, because
I don't see any doubt that it's Ramsay.
What's the word? Sorry. Psychological gambits aren't Stannis' style. He's never attempted something like that before, and it's not something I don't think he would attempt it. Like, if Stannis wants something done, he will order them to do it. He wouldn't fuck about with like psychological manipulation.
Yeah, he's really pragmatic.
maybe Mance wrote it. I could see Mance writing it.
Yeah, well, there's a long theory on like why Mance wrote it. Like, well, on a 3-part video actually.
Whose video is that?
I can't remember, but should we?
I'm sure we'll find it
If
and
you
we'll
want,
link it.
link it in the description. Yeah. I'll send it to you afterwards. But
Well, what about the Bolton seal on it?
there isn't actually a Bolton seal. It's not mentioned. It just says there's pink wax.
But I suppose Mance would struggle getting wax, wouldn't he? I mean, is wax just commonly lying around, especially pink wax?
Yes.
Okay, fine.
No explanation needed. We got you, George.
Yeah.
We know who wrote it.
I don't want to be Mance, because I have this, like, probably very, very naive hopefulness that Mance and Jon are, to the end of it, just going to be best buddies. And, like, at the end of the series, they're both just going to sit there, drink their fermented cow's yak's milk or whatever the hell they drank in the tent. And then just go, do you remember that time when I, went to Winterfell to save your fake sister? Yeah.
Remember that time I went to Craster's Keep, but I didn't actually in the books? That was weird.
But it could just be Ramsey, and then we're just kind of extrapolating the theory a bit too far. Cause, like the theory,
I think it was Ramsey,
the
personally.
theory that it's
Yeah.
Stannis. It's like you kind of question like how he would know how to exactly write in Ramsey's style.
It's just not Stannis' thing. You
Yeah.
know, it's just it would be kind of out of character for him to do something like that.
Very out of character.
But anyway,
I'm sitting here. I'm reading the letter itself now. Some of the information that how would Ramsey necessarily know
What
or
about-
any of
about like
Yeah, I don't think
Sleece,
Mance would ever
Sleece
tell.
and Melisandre and stuff like that. I think he probably tortured it out of Mance.
but would
I
Mance
think-
break?
I don't think Mance would break.
He may-
Personally, maybe one of the spear wives, but Mance definitely not.
Oh yeah, maybe.
But would his spearwives know?
Yeah, Mance would have
Yeah.
trusted them. Mance would have trusted them if he was taking them south of them. Should we move on from Stannis? Who
I
else have we
think
got?
George R.R. Martin is watching this, and he's like
Well, he's
hitting
watching it
face
right
palm-
now.
If
Yeah,
he's watching it right
yeah.
now, he's like hacked into our Skype call.
Yes, he's face palming because we know everything. All our predictions are true. That's like we got you.
Yeah.
We've got you, Joe.
He's gonna have to rewrite his. He's gonna spend another 3 years writing his story because we've worked out as he's changing every
He's
little
the
last
lead
detail.
with the witch right now.
You should make a Facebook group called "We Got You, George," all about the theories, or like theories that are just ridiculous and like not right.
Or
But
It was the
But-
Rhino, George. It was the
Let's change the
Rhino.
host's name.
Like the theory that Eddard and Ned Stark are brothers.
Or the theory that Gregor and Sandor are brothers.
Wait, what happened just there? Did anyone just get like a weird
Everyone just
technical thing?
no, everyone just cut out after I said the Gregor is Sandor's brother theory.
Oh, I got a weird like feedbacky thing.
Alright.
Ah, 4 likes. I'm famous, guys.
On Silvio Farrell.
Yes.
Nice.
Did you link us in the Skype call?
Yeah. All right. I'll link you guys right now.
Should we move on to the wall then?
John, Melisandre, and Ghost.
John Melisandre and
Yeah.
Ghost and Bowen Marsh and Tormund.
Tormund. If he dies, I'm going to be
I
so
think-
angry.
I think because Tormund had
Tormund, if Tormund dies, then his dick is going to flow out. It's going to crush the wall.
Oh, of course.
Tormund's member is the Horn of Joramun.
No, it's
Yes.
Lightbringer.
Yes,
It's Lightbringer.
we got him.
we got
John is Azor High, and he has to kill his love because Tormund's his true love. So he has to kill Tormund and cut off his member and use it as a sword.
No, I think like when Tormund fight, because Tormund's at Castle Black at the moment, isn't he? Yeah, he is. I think when Tormund discovers that like Bowen Marsh and the others have stabbed Jon, because Tormund has always had a great deal of respect for Jon, I think Tormund's going to kind of flip out. So
Tormund's going to go ballistic and just.
Castle Black is about to become like fucking ground zero,
It's going to be a war zone.
and especially with like the others on the way, and like because George said that we won't have any new point of view chapters. I think like we'll, for the most part, we'll get Melisandre's point of view because she's had one chapter in Dance. We'll have Melisandre for the wall, I think.
Yeah, and maybe
So
Ghost.
Or maybe Ghost.
Because Ghost counts as John's POV.
Ghost counts as Jon, and then like Jon maybe come like. There's theories that like Jon won't actually be killed and that he will just like recover from his wounds. But no, I don't think so. I think he will actually be killed, and then he'll be brought back by Melisandre.
No, but George accidentally said in one interview that there are going to be Jon chapters.
Well, I don't think anyone actually believed that Jon was actually dead for real. It's, I mean, with Ned and like Rob, like their deaths narratively make sense. Jon has like a kind of story spanning arc, so killing him off there is kind of like it's obvious his arc isn't at an end. So
You've still got things left to do. Like. Take
is that a
Tormund's-
Breaking Bad quote?
Yes, that was. You still got things. It was slightly paraphrased because I used the third person, but yes. Yeah, he's got to fight the others with Tormund's member.
Like, well, I don't think the others are wholly evil, and I think, well, because Melisandre's whole thing about like I pray for a glimpse of Azor High, and Roller shows me only snow. It kind of pretty much spells out that Jon's Azor High, and I would like that because it would. And have you heard the theory that Lightbringer is the Night's Watch?
Yes, yeah.
Any of you?
I've heard it. I don't know it very well, but I've heard it.
Well,
What I've heard was not Lightbringer, but Azor Ahai itself is Night's Watch.
well, like Lightbringer is the Night's Watch because of the Night's Watch oath. Part of it's the I am the sword in the darkness. I am the light that brings the dawn.
Yeah.
That's quite
So I would kind of like that if Lightbringer was not a physical sword and supposed to be like the Night's Watch instead, and it would make sense if Jon does therefore Azor Ahai.
Mm. And then of course we couldn't have Jon unless of course we have Jon like dual wielding Lightbringer and Longclaw, because I don't think I could ever see Jon using anything other than Longclaw. Like just say as a person, he has a personal attachment to that weapon that I don't think he should ever lose. Bran.
He can't walk.
Yep, that was established in like chapter 3 of Game of Thrones.
He's a cripple.
his name is Bran.
Yep.
He's
a Stark.
He's a Stark.
No, he's not.
His
Wait,
A.
are you sure?
It's the A.
He's a secret Targaryen.
I think he's a tree for
Is he
the rest of the
egg?
series
No.
now.
He's that kind of hippie.
Bran's a tree, man.
Whoa, man.
Bran's gonna walk into the Titan of Bravos and go all Pacific Rim on the dragons.
Oh my god.
I think Bran is going to walk a dragon at some point, just because of Bloodraven's line. You won't walk, but you will fly. And yeah, I know he's been walking ravens, but that kind of
It's a bit anticlimactic, like yeah.
it's anticlimactic to the whole "you will fly" line. I think. So.
Yeah.
Sorry, carry on. I was interrupting.
I wasn't actually saying anything.
Yeah.
Like, Bran is a difficult one to predict for, though, because I don't know, like...
How magical is he going to be? Like,
Melisandre looked into her fires, and she saw Bloodraven, and she saw Bran, and like she thought that they were the Great Others champions.
maybe they are.
Well, that wouldn't make sense, because like they've been fighting whites.
Yeah, but the whites are mindless.
I feel like... See, because one of the things, like, I imagine that one of the theories, like, the others aren't totally evil, because I don't think it would make sense for, like, Martin to come out and say, like, one of his criticisms of Tolkien is how, like, you have one army of, like, evil...
It's black and white, yeah.
Exactly, and, like, how, if the others were, like true evil, that would kind of undermine what he kind of made this about.
One of you mentioned the fact that what if they were reversed? Roller was actually the evil enemy, and the Great Other was actually the good.
Yeah, because that was the idea that if Jon turned out to be the Great Other, and
Sort of.
like Dany was Azor Ahai.
Have you heard of the George's book, the Ice Dragon or something like that, the children's book, where there are the 3 fire dragons, and they are like bullying people or there's something like that, and there is the Ice Dragon, and that the main character befriends the Ice Dragon. The Ice Dragon kills the fire dragons but dies while fighting. And, people thought that the fire dragons are, like, normal and the ice dragon is bad, but the ice dragon actually turned out to be the good one. Or something like that, I'm not sure. But, that's the point I'm making. The others are like the ice dragon, and the role is the fire dragons.
I did hear an interesting theory stating that the White Walkers and the Night's Watch, when the wall was originally built, they actually, the others helped build it, so it was a barrier to keep the fire magic of Valyria and the children away from them. So they actually helped build the wall, and that over history.
Valkyria is south.
The trouble with that is that the Valyrian Empire wasn't actually formed but when the wall went up.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
Yeah, but but the whole thing is that the others helped build the wall, and that over time the view of the others kind of changed, and that there was a battle for the Dawn, where the humans tried to
That was before
Get it.
the wall.
push the others back, and so that they could live, and then the others were like, wait a second, how about we make a deal, you get half of the continent, we get the other half. And then the Wildings were just people who didn't want to move.
Yeah, that's cool.
I can't blur, man.
Okay, wait, I was going to say something.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
What was I going to say? It'll come to me in a minute. Hold on.
Well, I mean, going back to Bran, I think I'm not sure which one of you guys mentioned Theon getting executed by Stannis in front of the weirwood tree. I think if that was going to bring someone back, it would probably be Bran more so than Jon.
Bran's still alive.
Yeah, but he's inside a tree, is the thing. He's in the network of heart trees right now.
The Weirwood Network.
He's
Yeah.
on the World Weirwood Web.
We got
Yeah, exactly.
We got you, George. I'm still
Bran
I'm still calling
discovered the internet.
the best
Oh, yeah,
the best like ending like if you want to end the series, this doesn't work with where the story is now, but it would be really cool if Bran was executing Jon for breaking these oaths in Night's Watch, and Jon just looks up at him and is about to swing the sword and says, "Don't look away." And then Bran just swings the sword and the series.
Don't look away. Father will know if you don't.
Yeah.
If you do.
I'm gonna go cry real quick, and I'll be back.
No, Danzie reminded me of like the Bran thing, like because I think pretty much with Jojen, the show's pretty much confirmed that he's dead. I think.
Yeah.
Like it was kind of suspected at the end of the end of his last chapter of Dance Dragons. I don't put much stock in the Jojen Pace theory, but yeah, I think he's dead.
What's the Jojen Pace theory?
Oh,
I had to ask the same thing because I hadn't heard of it until they told me. I don't agree with it at all. But
you know, Bran is being fed this kind of weirwood paste thing. The theory is that that's Jojen, because the children didn't they eat green seers to kind of fuel their power?
I don't know if they ate green seers, but like because it's suggested that they're eating it in order to unlock his green seeing power, something like that. Yeah, but yeah, I'm not sure what will happen with Mira, because Mira's already, Mira's already taken Bran there, and because that was the role of Mira and Jojen was to.
I mean, Bran eventually fell in love with Mira, so I think George is going to develop on that.
Yeah, but like she's like 10 years older than him.
No, she's not. She's 14, I think, or 15.
No, she's 17.
She's 17, is she?
Yep.
Wait, let me check it.
Danzie linked a video on skin changing in greensight.
Which we will put in the description for you
Put that
people
one in the
listening.
description too.
Yeah. We should write down what I need to put in the description.
Okay, so Bran was born 291 and
Bran's
283. Yes, she is 8 years older than him.
Yeah.
As far as Bloodraven goes, I'm not sure what Bloodraven's agenda is like, but there's the theory, because you know how the direwolf came south, like with the wall, and like a direwolf hadn't been seen south of the wall.
Yeah.
And it just so happened to have the right amount of direwolves and the right genders for all the Stark children.
Yeah.
There's a theory that it's Bloodraven who actually sent.
What,
The
warged into a direwolf mother?
Yeah, or like, and with some like weird magic shit, and actually sent the direwolf.
Yeah.
In order, because it was on that very day, like at that very time, and got it killed, so that the Stark children could have direwolves. But as far as Bloodraven's agenda, we don't. It's a difficult one, and with the children of the forest, with the children of the forest too. You don't really know what they're.
I think we're going to learn a lot more about the magical stuff later.
Definitely.
Oh, another big point. I think in Winds of Winter, the wall is going to come down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Otherwise,
Yeah,
the others just kind of, just kind of waiting for the wall to come down, just like tower hugging.
Because they can't get past because of the magical barrier, so I think it has to come down, otherwise they're no... Right. What was that?
Was that Bartek?
Oh my! Yeah, that's. I have a Polish TV series thing installed, and it's putting on adverts at random moments.
Right. Okay.
Okay. But, well, I'm kind of going...
Where, going on with kind of the North and the Night's Watch, where the hell is Benjen Stark?
Dario.
Yeah.
Cold Hands, no. Well, I still kind of cling to Cold Hands theory a bit, even though...
Yeah, I do as well.
Even though Leaf says, like, he died long ago.
But that's very subjective.
Like, well...
Yeah.
It's the idea is because Leaf is, like, supposedly, like, hundreds of years old, because children live a long time, that long ago would be more than 2 years for her. So...
Although, maybe Benjen's the link with the others not being wholly evil. Like, Benjen has gone so far north that he is integrated with another society.
Yeah, I think Benjen's actually in the lands of Always Winter, and like he's either a captive or like a guest of the others, maybe. And I'm kind of
Benjen Stark, would you like some tea?
Yes,
Thank you.
that'd be awesome. Like,
yeah.
I don't see it. I still kind of view them as a wholly evil.
I don't think so.
but that doesn't quite make sense for Martin thematically, does
Yeah.
it? Like, his entire point of A Song of Ice and Fire has been good and evil is not necessarily external, it's all about internal and the struggle within a person, as opposed to the struggle in the world.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what he wants us to think.
We got you, George.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of moving away from the Benjen as Cold Hands, but I'm still clinging to it a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just so I can say I told you so. It's right.
But wouldn't he have? Granted, D&D's
Exclusion.
current
of them.
string, wouldn't Martin have told them of the importance of Benjen and Cold Hands?
Like D&D get shit.
Yeah, like the
Yeah,
Indians really
but wouldn't
care.
they have? That just
Lady
seems to be
Stoneheart
something rather important.
was not important, so I don't know why we're.
Lady Stoneheart is apparently...
But there's still a point.
Yeah.
The possibility that she will be in next season.
Oh, I'm clinging on. I don't.
If
think
she's
will
not,
be-
then it doesn't matter. Nothing is important anymore.
What was it, Malcolm? You
I
and
don't
I were
think she's
saying.
gonna be in next season, but I definitely think we're going to slowly get a sort of hint, wink, wink. She's going to be included, and then not the 5th season, the 6th season.
The
We're
6th
going
season
to see
will be
Lady
Winds of
Stoneheart.
Winter.
Yeah.
So... It's...
Yeah, next season will pretty much wrap up the little bit of Dorne, and
Next season we'll
That's
finish
a
Feast
dragon.
and Dance.
Yeah. They can't spread out any more than that. Because
Because they said they want to do 7 or 8 seasons, and yeah, like with Winds of Winter and Dream of Spring, they can't spend more than like the end of season 5 on Feast and Dance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like back on the kind of reads, and well, this is kind of related to John. When are we going to see Howland read? Because he knows what happened at the Tower
Oh,
of Joy.
I was Galbert Glover on your point, Geno. Galbert Glover was sent by Rob to find Howland Reed. So it is, I suppose, possible that Howland Reed and Galbert Glover have gone to the Dreadfort to take it. And then once
Ooh.
they have defeated Roose and
It was Robert Glover, actually. He said.
Is
Robert.
Which one's
theory goes
Robert?
went,
there is no,
but
is there?
Gelbert could have met up with him. That actually makes sense, especially with Howland.
Hang on, is there a Robert Glover? Because I've
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
searched this.
Robert Glover.
He-
Yeah,
Galbert's the Lord, and then Robert is his...
Oh, it's Robert, not Robert.
Robert. Yeah, not Robert.
Yeah, that's why.
Robett.
Yeah.
Yes.
Claims he will join Stannis and when Davos.
But his wife's already joined Stannis.
Yeah.
And their forces, she's got their forces marching towards Winterfell.
Yeah.
Which kind of seems like another Blackwater.
It better not be.
We got you, George.
No Blackwater swerves.
But it's going to be 2 Blackwaters in the same book.
Yeah. Maybe George just can't resolve battles without an external party coming in to save the day.
I think if
Makes
R
complete
plus, if R plus L equals J does happen, we'll find out through Howland Reed.
Yeah.
Howland Reed.
There's a reason he's been kept out of the story for like so long.
What has he been doing?
Chilling at Greywater Watch.
Well, I have a theory on this. I think because like the reason why he hasn't been because he saved Eddard Stark's life
Right.
from Arthur Dayne.
Arthur Dayne.
But he's not.
And,
He was
like,
not the
I
swordsman.
think it's
Yes! Sorry.
okay.
What? Sorry.
It suggests
Geno is the greatest person of all time. Thank you, Geno.
Which?
You're welcome.
Which?
he made them the admin, didn't he?
Not on just one page, but I'm making them on 2.
What have you
See?
done?
Geno is now my greatest friend of all time. I don't need you guys anymore. This is why I hate y'all. But Geno, I like you.
Thank you.
You know what, Geno? You know me and you are both Irish Americans, right?
Yes.
Okay. See, this is
We're
why I
right.
like him.
No,
I'm Irish Canadian.
How much time do we have left?
We have all the time in the world. Don't question the time. Just keep.
Yeah, we can keep going. We can keep going. I mean,
shall I carry on with my train of
sorry.
thought?
Yeah. Continue.
Yes, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
What was I saying? But yeah, I have a theory about like why Howland Reed's been out for so long because of the whole he saved Eddard from Arthur Dayne, and I think it suggested that he does it through kind of dishonorable means. Like he either uses like because the Crannog men have like poison, or like he does it through some like warging fuckery with Arthur Dayne. Because Arthur Dayne's a really competent swordsman, and Eddard says that it's Howland Reed who saved him. It wasn't Eddard who killed him. It says Howland killed. Well, that Eddard would have died if it weren't for Howland Reed. And we don't really hear about Howland being much of a like great renowned swordsman. So I think what's happened is that Howland killed Arthur through like kind of dishonorable means, and like he's like living with the guilt of that.
Yeah.
In Greywater Watch.
So what? He's so guilty that he's staying there in the middle of a swamp and not doing.
And also because he's got the I think Eddard might because if he knows about R plus L equals J, Eddard might have ordered him like to kind of keep it a secret, and so that's why he's living in seclusion.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I heard an interesting theory, which I actually support, is that Mira and Jojen are the son and daughter of Howland Reed and Ashara Dane.
We got you, George.
We got him. And that Arthur Dane is alive and living in the neck with
There
Howland.
is. I have heard that theory that Arthur Dane is actually alive because they never really say he's dead, but
They do well because Eddard says like he left like
he gave Dawn to the family.
and Eddard says like they made 8 tombs in like outside the Tower of Joy because for the 6 that came with him. Well, no, sorry, for the 5 that came with him and the 3, because Howland survived. The 5 that died on his side, and for the 3, Kingsguard, and because he took Lyanna's body north.
Does he actually say the 8 graves?
Yeah, he
thing?
says there's 8 graves.
Well, that puts that theory to rest.
Maybe.
No, there are
It
quite
would be the first time Ned is...
Sure,
We
then.
already know
It's-
Ned is a liar.
Wait, Bartek was saying something.
Sorry.
I said that there are quite a few Asher theories. There is one that Ned made John with her. There is one that Brandon had sex with her. There is the one that Howland had sex with her, and there is one that Ashara Dane is with Aegon right now.
Scepter Lemore.
Yeah, Scepter Lemore.
I've heard that one.
Shara Dane's a very promiscuous lady, it seems.
That whore.
I wasn't going to go quite that far, but yes, I suppose
She's
you
been
could say that.
fucking Ned Stark, Brandon Stark, probably
A Howland Reed for all I
Howland
know.
Reed for a while.
We got you, George.
We got him. Going on the subject of Howland Reed, and one of my favorite stories that we get inside Game of Thrones is the Night of the Laughing Tree.
Oh, yeah. Love that one.
Yeah.
I just, honestly, if I have kids, I'm going to tell them that at night.
Like, I only really appreciated it on my first reread because I didn't find the Bran chapters that interesting the first time around, but I've appreciated them more the second time.
I still haven't got around to finishing Game of Thrones, but I'm starting others for a reread. I'm sorry, stories from Game of Thrones you're telling your kids. I'm telling the Rats Cook one. Or I might just be a bad parent, but that's the one I'm going with.
What age are you going to start telling your children?
3.
Like,
As soon as they can
they'll
understand.
not be that... 3, yeah, 3.
As soon as they're
They
born,
won't
what
be
are you
that age
talking
forever and winter is coming.
Yep. I will be a
I'm
terrible
going
father.
to be mowing the lawn and be like, winter is coming, you must prepare.
Just train your child to fight. Just
Yes.
no one would screw with them.
You know what would be really dark?
What?
Is if you said the Bruce quote to Ramsay.
Oh god.
Don't make me rue the day I raped your mother.
Oh, that'd be terrible.
That would
Lord.
be awful.
I'm not gonna lie, I love the actor who does Bruce Bolton because the line where it says, "You're not a Bolton, you're Snow," is just so perfect for how Bruce Bolton would say it. It was beautiful.
Have you seen Michael McKilney, who plays Bruce Bolton? Someone's echoing.
We've got Echo now. Yes.
Geno, it's your
God
fault.
Damn
Not
it!
me.
But as I was saying, Michael McKilney. If you watch his
It's
what?
Michael McKelton or something.
Yeah, that guy. The guy who plays Bruce. He has a sketch show, and he tries to tell a guy his wife's dead, and he just can't. And he just says, "Your wife. It's about your wife." Is she? No, she's fine. She's just gone away for a long time.
Oh no, there's a better one on that same show where he says he tells his wife in a kind of emotional way that he's got cancer, and then so she's kind of upset, and then he tells her that he's been having sex with her sister in order to so it doesn't seem as bad because he's got cancer, and then he says he hasn't actually got cancer.
No, he stops him. He tells her he hasn't got cancer after he tells the cancer story and says, "Now remember that feeling? I've been sleeping with your sister." It doesn't feel so bad now, does it?
Then he laughs about it. He says it's all about perspective. It's so Bruce Bolton. or
The Roos is on the loose.
Bruce Trolton.
Why is Roose Trolton has got to be a page like Phil McCracken? That has to happen.
Are we done talking about?
I think we're done with
Can we move
predictions.
south, please?
Okay.
To Arya, most preferably.
Hmm?
Can we move to Arya, most preferably?
Well, Arya is one we're going to do next week.
I think, yeah. Because
So
she's
we're
on
on-
Bravos.
Yeah, we're saving Bravos for the next bit.
Coming soon
Okay.
on Trial by Podcast, we have Arya, Sansa, Littlefinger, Euron, Aeron, Old Town, Highgarden, Samwell, Jaime, Brienne, Stoneheart, Blackfish, Darktar, Myrcella, Arianne, Dawn, Aegon, Joncon, Cersei, Tommen, Sir Robert Strong,
Jon-
Varys, culmination of other characters above coming into the storyline. I did just read the...
You didn't need to read that bit because that was supposed to be.
Well, Okay, but I was just reading and I kind of just
A lot
kept
of them are
going.
going to come into that King's Landing storyline. That's what I meant. Yeah.
But that's coming soon. So stay tuned.
So, should we have a conclusion, signing off bit
Our
here?
outro.
We're gonna get George some more.
Yeah, because we got you, George.
Yeah.
So this has been Try by Cop Podcast with everyone. Announce yourselves off.
Tim.
Malcolm.
Silvio
McCracken.
Farrell.
Wait, I got to read my full title. Where is it? We, by the grace of God, His most Christian, excellent and great Majesty, proclaim the first King of Poland, Grand Duke of Lithuania, Hetman of Ukraine, and Lord of Belarus, Grand Master of Latvia, Sovereign of Hungary, Bohemia, Slovakia, of his other realms, and territories, states of London, the successor and sovereign and ruler of those, Emperor, Head of the Commonwealth, Defender of the Faith, Protector of the Realm.
Yep, that guy.
Yay!
That guy.
I'm the prostitute Silvio Farrell.
Fuck you, Silvio. You're only the second sword. I want the first sword.
I can't be the first sword.
Actually,
Okay, so you if you've made it this far in the video, thank you. If you could like
Thank
this
you.
video, share it, tell your friends, get hype, and
You get
goodbye.
A free whoring experience from Silvio Farrell. Live what
I
it's
think this
like
whole
to be a
podcast
whore.
was a free whoring experience.